So before we start second down, a couple of email. As a Spurs fan, LeBron James does not scare me. Keep Daniel Gibson from going off, and the series will be over in 5. Maybe LeBron will score a field goal in the first half on Sunday, but I wouldn't bet on it. Signed, Mini Skip. Jeff. It's a lot like Skip. He's been listening to you too long.
You know, LeBron hasn't played well in 6 of his last 7 games, except for the 48-pointer. Seriously.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's very right.
If that was the case, these guys wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I think they'd be home. The Spurs caught every call during Game 1. LeBron and the Cavs will rebound in Game 2 if the Cavs start Daniel Gibson instead of Larry Hughes. I think a lot of people are in agreement there.
Right, but it's a catch-22 when you're the coach. You don't want to necessarily sit a guy that's taking a Novocaine shot during the Detroit series, and now you get to the finals and bench him. So
right.
I think he's doing that out of respect.
And they'd better literally rebound because they got crushed on the boards last night.
Which was uncharacteristic. They have typically out-rebounded their opponents by about 6 rebounds a game. In Game 1, they were out-rebounded by 11. If they don't turn that around, it'll be fast. All right, let's start second down by talking about Curt Schilling. Terrific performance yesterday, but just short of historic. 2 outs in the 9th inning. He shakes off his catcher and throws a fastball, and thus the no-hitter ends with the solid base hit into right field. As you take a look at what Schilling was able to do yesterday, were you impressed?
You know, not especially, Jay. And for the record, as strict as my Hall of Fame standards are, Schilling is in my Hall of Fame on his postseason record alone. But Varitek, his catcher, said he didn't have his best stuff in the bullpen. Coco Crisp makes a terrific over-the-shoulder catch in center. Mike Lowell makes a terrific play at third base. And there was a lot of luck involved, Jalen, because a lot of balls were hit sharply, but at him. And remember, he struck out only 4 batters. In his one-hitter against Milwaukee, the near no-hitter, he struck out 17. That is no-hit stuff.
We're not talking about a 20-strikeout game. That's impressive in itself. We're talking about a no-hitter. And a pitcher weighs off his catcher a lot of time. Varitek actually mentioned that he did that 6 times during the game. So that does happen. Now, is that impressive? Absolutely. A 40-year-old guy on a first-place team. There are a lot of great pitchers that don't have no-hitters on their resume. Maddox, Roger Clemens are amongst the others. So that is very impressive for a 40-year-old guy. Most 40-year-old guys are probably sitting at home watching a bag of chips.
Okay, but
watching the game.
I was there the night that 44-year-old Nolan Ryan threw his last no-hitter. He struck out 16 Toronto Blue Jays, and I knew from the first inning forward, I'm turning to guys in the press box saying, they're not going to touch him.
Yeah. Well, his no-hitters were a lot like that. I think what's really impressive, and you touched on this, the near no-hitter came at really what has been the most crucial time for these Boston Red Sox. A 4-game losing streak. They need to stop the bleeding because they're looking at the Yankees starting to get hot.
The most impressive thing Schilling did was get right back up on the hill after it got broken up and say, we've lost 4 in a row. I got to close this down right now.
Absolutely. And Schilling has pride, and he understands Josh Beckett is the ace of that staff, so he wants to come out and have great starts, especially after the team's on a losing streak.
All right, there was one other interesting part about this game. David Ortiz took a page out of Manny Ramirez's book when he said afterwards he didn't even know that Schill had a no-hitter going. What's your reaction to that?
You know, I love this, Jay, and I got a great kick out of it, Jalen, because this wasn't Manny being Manny. This was Poppy being Manny. Am I right? These two have this in common. They both live in their own world. Blissfully ignorant. I think he goes up to, Poppy does, to the clubhouse to play video games between at-bats. This is the perfect mentality for baseball, especially in Boston or New York, because you don't think about anything. You're blissfully unaware of any pressure. You just see ball, hit ball. And that's Poppy and Manny.
Well, somebody knew, because if you look at the clips in the 9th inning, he actually was over there sitting by himself. So either he passed gas or he had a bad odor. Because the rest of the team knew that it was a no-hitter happening. And I'm pretty sure if Big Poppy didn't know, the rest of the world did. ESPN did a live cut-in. And I'm pretty sure after the 5th, 6th, 7th inning, somebody had to mention these guys have no hits, especially to the guy who produced the only run of the game.
Okay, but he's not on the bench. He's going to the clubhouse between at-bats. So once he finds out mid-9th, they're saying, shut up, because, as you know, Jay, you're going to jinx this. Yeah. Just go sit by yourself and don't. He was saying, oh, my God, it's a no-hitter. Don't say it. Don't say it.
I think he has to know. I think Big Poppy has. I think that's something.
I don't know how you can't. And I know that you're disconnected a little bit when you're not out in the field. But wow, that is surprising. All right, that's it for second down. Ahead in third down. More trouble for Michael Vick as his possible involvement in a dogfighting ring has now become a federal case. Skip and Jalen will provide Michael free legal advice. Also ahead, he suffered what could have been a career-ending injury